One second. Welcome to the day after Thanksgiving Doctor Who special. Woo! You made it. Hello, everyone. Come on in. Just giving it a couple minutes for some people to roll in here. Hello, Dennis. Hi, Miss White Swan. Oh, yeah. So if you have found your way here and you love Doctor Who, you are in the right place. Hi, Alexis. Thanks for coming. I'm going to reach the time I feel that. Oh. Hello, Vincent. All right, here we go. Hi, Thesis. Hi, guys. Oh, man, it has been a busy, crazy week for me as usual. I had a wonderful day door dashing today, though. I went out there and I made a bunch of money. So I decided to come home and make time to stream. Hi, Brayden. Nice to see you. Okay. So I'm going to go into a few of the other things that I mentioned on my... Hi there, Matthew and Honora. How you doing? I'm going to mention some of the other things that I put on my infograph first before we get into the Doctor Who stuff, because obviously that's the most exciting part that I can't wait to get into, because I'm starting a new series. We're going to see how many of the episodes I can get through. I mean, I'm probably not going to go through every single episode just because some of them are pretty boring. But we're going to go through some of my favorites. I'm mainly trying to take you guys through the companionship between Doctor Who and Clara, which she is actually the companion of the 11th and the 12th Doctor. So we're going to go into some of that. But first, I'm going to tell you guys some crazy things that are happening to me that is really tripping me out. It's tripping me out. Okay. So let's get into it. Last week, I was telling you guys about the HBO Max Chinese drama, Scent of Time, about this woman who goes back in time 2 years after her family is completely, what's the word for it? Dishonored, like some bad, they did some bad things. And so they get exposed and like some bad things happens with her family. Her mother and her brother die, and her father gets exiled. And she ends up going back in time and starting to right all the wrongs that she had done over her life over the last 2 years. So I got to the end of the series this week. Okay, it had 30 episodes. And all week long, I was having these weird thoughts, like just, random things that I think about when I'm out driving. Okay, I think a lot of different things. Think about timelines, think about how time works, think about, how to understand how all time is happening at once and stuff, like how to wrap my mind around that. And for some reason, I kept thinking about, and this is probably going to be like a little hint to give away about the end of the show, but it blew my mind. So I'm having to tell you guys, because I was straight tripping. I was getting chills, okay, when I watched this last episode. I'm like, no way. So all week long, okay, I kept thinking about, like, Spirit kept saying to me, basically, kept nudging me, like, you ever hear about those people who go into comas, and when they come out of comas, they felt like they had no idea they were in a coma. They went on living their life. They went on, they had memories of doing things that they would do, like they never were in a coma, like they just kept living. Okay, and now I'm like, how does that work? Like how does that work? That someone could keep living their life thinking that they're living their life and they're in a coma, right? Well, I get to the end of the show. The whole time I'm thinking she time traveled 2 years back and she did all these things, right? No, she was in a coma. This is what the twist of the show was. She was in a coma, and she created a dream for herself where she was righting all the wrongs, right? But, there was little giveaways. She kept smelling us incense, a certain type of incense. And she kept asking people during the show, like, do you smell that? Do you smell that incense? And people would be like, no, like, I don't smell that incense. What are you talking about? There's no incense in the room. And it was because that was the incense that was being burned over her body to try and wake her up, because, Chinese medicine, they believe that, aromas and stuff, aromatherapy, that can help heal you. So at the end of this, I'm like, wow. So I was picking up on what the conclusion of the show was going to be the entire week. I'm like, that is really tripping me out. I'm like, my mind was blown at the time. When these things happen, you're just like, kind of like, well, hi, Joanna. Just want to say hi to you. Okay. So I'm tripping. I'm like, wow, that is so weird. But then other weird things started happening. Okay. Things that are, usually I get a hint of it, because sometimes, okay, even though we're all psychic, okay, sometimes you start to doubt. So, hello there, Red Orion. Red Orion, nice to see you. Sometimes you just start to think, am I just crazy? Like, am I just making all this up in my head? Am I really telepathic? Am I really that psychic? Well, let me tell you. This past couple weeks, this past week, I have to say, I kept getting little thoughts about, like, oh, like someone I hadn't talked to in a really long time. Okay. I was like, oh yeah, you remember when you used to talk to them? Remember that? Like, yeah. Oh, who messages me later that night? That person messages me. But it's getting more specific for me now. And this is happening more and more frequently. And I've been at this point in my past. Okay. I have, where I would get like super like accurate telepathic messages. And to the point where, like in my past, in my 20s, when it started happening to me, I was hearing bad things as well as good things. Okay. And I like didn't want to hear it anymore. And I was just like, shut it off. And that's still true. But I'm not going to shut it off this time. I'm not going to run away from it. So like even this week, I was thinking about someone, and I was thinking, wow, like, what, we just not communicate anymore? Like, what is going on? So I had planned, I'm like, what? I'm going to message that person today. I'm going to message them. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, like, what's going on there? Well, they beat me to it. And not only did they message me, they messaged me the exact same message that I was going to send them. Okay. Now, what trips me out about this, and what I can't seem to figure out, and I'm really curious to figure out which one it is. Am I thinking this first, and then they're picking up my thought and taking action on it? Or are they the ones thinking this first, and I'm the one picking up their message? I don't know. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what is it? Like, what is changing in me that is making this telepathy come so hardcore online for me? And quite honestly, I think it has to do with being in alignment. I think being in alignment with your timeline of highest love and joy, or whatever the main timeline is that you have subscribed to or signed up for. I'm going to turn this volume down before I get too far ahead of myself, guys. I don't want that, my notifications going off. Okay, there we go. So, or maybe that was just a confirmation, never know. Okay, so I think it has to do with the fact that I have gotten in alignment with what my ultimate goal was to come here onto planet Earth to do. And since I am, things are just picking up and activating even more. Like, I'll give you another example, okay, of something I just threw out there to spirit. And like the things I'm asking for and the things I'm trying to manifest are coming. They're coming really, really fast now. Hi there, Heidi. Nice to see you. Okay. So I was thinking to myself like a week and a half ago, and I did kind of start to mention this last week with you guys. I was thinking, if spirit was really approving me doing tarot readings, I'd be working in a tarot shop. If they really want me to keep going, they'd find a way. And then lo and behold, I get contacted by a woman. I have like 1,000,001 messages in my little Facebook Messenger, and I don't even go into it because it just overwhelms me. And so I'm like, I can't. But this one woman popped up on my little bubble icon, and so I just felt guided to open it. I opened it, and she's like, "You live in Michigan, right? I'm opening up a metaphysical shop, and I want you to come be a tarot reader in my shop." And I'm like, "Oh, like I've been approved. I've been approved. Oh, okay, cool." But even then I was still really nervous. Like, how is this going to work? Because I still have to make money. I still have to go out there and, people don't sign up for readings while I'm there. I can't afford to really take a whole day off of not making any money. I DoorDash almost every day, guys, almost every day, probably 5 to 6 days a week at this point. Because, I can do it on my own time. So I can do it a couple hours here and there if I really want. But I like to do it in stretches. That way I can make the most that I can. So I was working on it, and I'm like, Spirit, like, how do I work this out? And then we found a way to work it out to where, we're going to advertise that I'm going to be a reader there. And I'm going to tell her that I can show up like 1 or 2 days a week. And, but people are going to have to book their readings ahead of time. Because that way, if I know for sure I have readings, I will drive there and I will do the readings, and then I can still do my door dashing on the side. And yay, problem solved, right? Yay. Good signs. I know. So I'm just like, okay, everything is lining up. This is kind of crazy, like I'm hearing people's thoughts all the time. Like it happened today when I was out picking up an order at this one restaurant. This guy, we've interacted a few times now, and he came up to drop off my the food order into my DoorDash bag, and I thought he was going to hug me for a minute, and he says to me, "I thought you were about to hug me for a minute," and I was like, "That's what I just thought," I'm like, "No, like I just thought that," and he did. He gave me a hug, and he was like, "Wow, you smell good," and that's what I was just thinking. I was like, "No, you smell good. Like, what is going on here? I don't fucking know." So yeah, so. I think the more you clear out the emotions of other like interactions and stuff that you have with people, I feel like that's what's been happening. I've been clearing it out. I've been clearing out that trauma. And now with this new openness, okay, there's more that can come through. Okay, so if you're looking to be more telepathic, all right, then I highly suggest you deal with your past emotional trauma and the emotions. Like you got to find a way to get into like a neutral space, because that's really where I've kind of been these past week and a half, 2 weeks now. Is it's been okay. At times it's been an up and down. Like there's times where I'm feeling like super high. Okay. And I'm like, wow, I'm high. Even without weed, I'm high. I feel high on life. But then there's other times I'm like at the lowest of my low. I'm like, this terrible, life is bad, whatever. But for the most part, I'm staying at a pretty high, high spirits. Okay. But it's still like more like a neutral high. I don't know if that makes sense, but take it for what it is. So, hi, Deborah. That's the lady right there, guys. She's the one that has the shop she's opening. I'm so excited about it. Yay. Thank you so much, Deborah. I love you. Okay. So let me see if I got through those other things real quick. Let me just check those off of my mind. Okay. Yep. We did the scent of time. That tripped me out. We did the telepathic activation. And now I think we can go ahead and focus on Doctor Who and Clara. My favorites. Okay. I absolutely, okay. I've been watching Doctor Who since the 2006, about, like, that was when it came out, right? And me and my sons, we used to watch it together, me and my son Isaac. And so I honestly didn't put that much. I loved it, okay, but I didn't get super into it like I am now until Clara came along. I really liked Amy and Rory too, but when Clara came along, something about that character, I was really drawn to her. Okay. And so how does it all start? Because she, every single companion that comes along for the Doctor, they give her a special name. Okay. They give them a special name. I don't even remember what any of the other ones were. I just know that they do because I've watched other specials and stuff. about the series. And so they went over them. But I guess the only one that really mattered to me was the Impossible Girl. So that's the one I remembered. And we're going to get into a little bit why she is the Impossible Girl. Okay, so I plan on taking us through why she's the Impossible Girl, and then in the next couple weeks, I'm going to get into like how she dies, and then how she kind of isn't dead, and then it's kind of a weird thing. But the most beautiful episode that I think that they really had, especially with Peter Capaldi, the 12th Doctor, is an episode called Heaven Sent. Okay, where he basically carries the entire episode by himself, and it's like his magnum opus, and it's absolutely glorious, and he does it all in the name of Clara. Okay, and that's why I love it so much. So let's get started though on how Clara came into the Doctor's life. Okay, so Clara comes into the Doctor's life in the episode known as, what was it? Asylum of the Daleks. Okay, now this is actually where Matt Smith is still the Doctor, so it's the 11th Doctor still, and he still has his companions Amy and Rory. It's actually an opening episode for the season. Okay, and so they start off. There is a starship known as the Starship Alaska. Okay, and it crashes on this planet. Okay, and this starship crashing is what puts out the call for the Doctor. Okay, because that's the thing. Doctor Who's TARDIS picks up on the calls that are most important for him to tend to, and that is where he goes, because the Doctor cannot resist a mystery. Cannot resist a mystery. He's got to go figure it out. And in this case, particularly, it's with the Daleks, which is one of his arch nemesis. All right, so he gets called to this planet, and at first, nothing really seems that abnormal or odd. Him and Amy and Rory are checking it out, and they find the Starship Alaska, and all the crew is dead. And the crew, actually, when they get there, some weird things start happening to them, and they actually turn into Daleks. They have the little eye thing that comes out, okay, and they're being converted into Daleks. And so now he knows, oh snap, I'm on a planet of Daleks. What is going on here? I need to get out of here because they're going to try and kill me for sure. All right. Well, he scans the atmosphere, and he finds out they get trapped in it. Okay. And he scans the atmosphere, and he finds out that there's little nanobots in the air. Okay. That is slowly taking over the bodies of whoever is on the planet, and it's turning them into Daleks, because apparently this is a planet where any Daleks who aren't following in line, who are going crazy, going insane, not being following the rules, you know what I'm saying, they get sent to this planet. All right, so the whole way through, all right, the Doctor ends up connecting through the computer to one of the surviving members of the Starship Alaska, and it happens to be let's see, Oswald. That is her name in this particular episode. Okay. And so every day then they show her. Okay, they show Oswald, and she is in this one room that she barricaded the doors because she knew the Daleks were coming for her, and she's making souffles every day, and just passing the time, and she's very good with the computer. Okay, so she starts guiding them through the maze to get out of to come get her first, and then to get out of the asylum and to escape. Okay, so it's very crazy episode, I guess you could say, with Amy and Rory there, because they're like going through some marital problems, but they end up coming back together, which everyone's like, hey, I love them. I love them as a couple. So I was really glad that they did. But at the end, okay, the Doctor finally gets to where Clara is, to her door, or not Clara, Oswald gets to her door and opens it up and finds out. He starts asking her, which this is weird, because it kind of goes in line with the type of story that the Scent of Time is. Okay, this woman, Scent of Time, the woman was in a coma, and she was living an alternate life. Okay, like she created an alternate dream reality, basically, which was so real to her that she even fought being awake, and went back into the coma for a little bit longer, because she was like, no, like, my life is terrible here. I want to go back to that one. So he starts asking, the doctor gets to Clara. He starts asking her, does it seem real? He's like, Clara or Oswald, where do you get the eggs for the souffle? You're on a planet, stranded. You're locked in a room. Where do you get the eggs? And that's when she starts questioning. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. And that's when the camera shows and it goes to look at Clara because he unlocks the door, right? And she has actually already been converted to a Dalek. Okay, so she is not going to be traveling any further with them as Oswald because she is a Dalek and she fought it. Okay, she refused to give up her humanity and she rescued the doctor and Amy and Rory. And what she did was even greater than that because she actually went into the computer and erased the Dalek's memory of the doctor at all. Okay, she was able to tap into the mainframe of the computer somehow and do this for him. So this sticks with you, okay? And the doctor goes on, keeps going on missions with Amy and Rory until they meet their untimely end, or I guess transferred into another place where they can't get back to the doctor. And wouldn't you know it, in one of the later episodes, I think it was the Christmas special, actually. So it's like the end of the season now. So Amy and Rory had their time. Now the doctor's alone. Amy and Rory are gone. And it's the Christmas special. And he's in Victorian London. And he comes across this barmaid who looks very familiar. And her name ends up being Clara Oswald. So now he's kind of like, what the hell? Like there's another you here, but she doesn't remember it. Like she has nothing to do with Oswald on the Asylum of Daleks. I think this episode was called The Snowman, if anyone cares. So just throw that one out there. All right. So now they go on to fight this enemy called the Great Intelligence, which he ends up being a very important enemy as well. And he ends up being the main reason, actually, that Clara ends up being the impossible girl. So they fight I'm not going to get too much into that episode because I really don't know that one as well as I do some of the other ones. I just know that Clara is in that episode and we get to know her a little bit better. But in each one of these lives, okay, in both of these lives, in Oswald and in Clara Oswald, she's a little bit different. Her personality is just a little bit different. She ends up being not just a barmaid, but a nanny. Okay, she ends up changing careers over into being like a governess for these children because it's Victorian London. All right, and so they fight this enemy called the Great Intelligence, and she dies again. Okay, she dies again. And you're like, wow, like I thought she was announced as the new companion. Well, she keeps freaking dying. Like what's going on here? All right, so then the next season, okay, they open and they have the doctor meet the real flesh and blood Clara, the real one that we're about to get to know and love and bond with. All right, named Clara Oswald. And she's also a nanny. Now she's like in our times, okay? And she ends up calling the doctor's phone. The first time you get to see the doctor get a phone call because, the police box that he travels in was a police call box, okay? So you don't even know that it actually works. He didn't even know it actually worked until he got this phone call. And she's like, oh, good, I got someone. It's Clara on the line, okay? And she's like, this woman in a shop gave me your number. And she said, if I had problems with my Wi-Fi router, to give you a call. It's called the episode's called The Bells of St. John. I think I might have already mentioned that. Let me go ahead and throw that in again. So they start working together because there's obviously something fishy going on with the Wi-Fi. And that was how she got his number. Okay. And they end up defeating the corporation that was using the Wi-Fi to steal people's souls, basically. Okay. And so now this has really piqued the doctor's interest because even though, okay, Clara doesn't remember any of the other versions of her, he knows. He's like, who is this chick and why does she keep showing up? Right? Okay. I'm just going to check the chat real quick for a second. Hi there, Trevor. Hi. Say hi to you guys. Okay. So let's keep going. All right, so we're back to yeah. So the doctor is like wondering, and even in some of the episodes now in this season, and over the next couple ones, he even ends up questioning her. He finally something bad happens in the TARDIS at one point where they're basically running through the TARDIS, all these different rooms, and finally he confronts her, and the doctor says to her like, "Who are you, and who sent you? Like, why do you keep showing up in all these different incarnations? You know, I met you already. I met you in the Asylum of the Daleks. You were this person. I met you at this place. You were a barmaid, and then turned to governess, and like, and you died in both of these things." And he's like, "Who are you, and how did you end up here?" And she like has really no idea how she ended up here. And so yeah, let's see, where do we go on to next for this? So she has no idea, okay. And so they just keep traveling together because, you know, even though she was a little bit put off by the fact that he was so confrontational with her, she really enjoyed the missions that they would go on. And he really enjoyed her too, because she was very sharp and quick-witted and came up with good ideals when they were trying to figure out what mysteries, what was going on with each one, right? Okay, so I'm going to talk about one more episode, and then we're going to go ahead and go on to the fortune cookie pull and the tarot card pull, because I don't want to get too far ahead into the rest of Clara's story. All right, so we're just going to get into, because I want to really dedicate like a special live stream for some of the, like her death and stuff like that, which is called Face the Raven, which I absolutely love. Brilliant, beautiful story, beautiful way they took her out, I thought, even. Okay, so anyway, because it inspired the doctor so much, and it just led to even greater work for him. So to get back to what I was talking about, though, the big reveal comes, okay, in the episode called The Name of the Doctor. All right, and the name of the doctor, all right, he is guided or requested, his presence is requested at a place he should never go. And the place that he should never go is his own gravesite in the future. Okay, but you remember the great intelligence that I talked about in the snowmen that Clara and the doctor defeated? Okay, well, he is still alive. He found a way to still be alive, which I really feel like it's like an AI signal type of thing. It's like in AI channeled into a man's body, so to speak. Okay, well, this great intelligence, he is so bitter and he is so angry with the doctor that he has come up with a scheme, a plan, all right, to get into the doctor's gravesite, all right, which is basically turns into a big giant TARDIS. He is buried with his TARDIS. The problem is when a TARDIS starts to die, you know how it's bigger on the inside than the outside? Well, that starts to leak out. Okay, so now that bigger on the inside starts to show on the outside. So it's actually a giant TARDIS. All right, and inside that giant TARDIS lies the doctor's time stream. Okay, and so that's what the great intelligence wants to get into. So he has to find a way to get the doctor there. He ends up finding a way through his companions. Okay, and at this time, his companions are a reptilian. I can't remember her name. I can't believe I can't remember her name. A reptilian who's in love with a human, a centurion named Strax, okay, Clara, all right, and then actually a fourth person comes to the table, and they're meeting in the astral. Okay, they smell this special scent, and it knocks them unconscious, and they wind up and they wake up and they're at a table, and they're all talking about what's going on. You know, like what's the mission here? Why have we been called to this table? And that fourth person is the doctor's wife, River Song. Now, if anyone knows anything about the past doctor, the 10th doctor, David Tennant's doctor, okay, he actually met his wife, all right, in the past. They get married in the future, all right, but he meets her in the past, and it's just the way their timelines work out. She dies, okay. She ends up saving a lot of people, but she dies in this library. Gosh, I can't even. I'll get back to that one. So anyway, River Song is here now. She is in spirit form, basically. Okay, she has a telepathic field. She's there. She's talking. She's like, "What's going on with the doctor? Like, why are we all being called here?" Okay, and so some bad guys break in. The great intelligence breaks in. All right. And I think they killed Jenny, which was the human lover of the reptilian. And now things are dead serious. Okay. They know to wake up. She like Jenny tells the reptilian lover, okay, wake up now. Someone's in the house. I think I'm hurt. I think I left the door unlocked. And so she slaps herself. The reptilian slaps herself and she wakes up and she finds these bad guys here. All right. And Clara wakes up in her separate place. All right. And the doctor comes and the doctor and Clara tells her, like, we need to go to this place called Trenzalore. Like, I don't understand. Like, what is there? And he's like, I should never go there because that's my gravesite. But I guess we're going to be going there because that's where Jenny and Strax and the reptilian lady are at. So we guess we better go there. So they go there, and the entrance into the TARDIS, or into the place where you can get to the door of the TARDIS, is actually through River Song's grave. All right, now the entire time you're actually seeing River Song there, and she's talking to Clara the whole time, and River Song tells Clara, like, he can't see me, but we were connected telepathically in the astral, so that's why you can still see me. And she's like, okay, so River Song is going to help out with this mission too. So we get to the point where we're at the door. The only way to open the door to get into the TARDIS is to say the doctor's real name. Now, only one person knows the doctor's real name, and this is why River Song has come along. This is why she's been drugged along, right? Because when you get married as a Time Lord, that is when you tell your real name to your partner. And so right before they're getting ready to be murdered, because the great intelligence is like, I know one of you has to know his name, so someone better speak it and open this door because that's what we're here to do. River Song says it, and we don't hear it, but she says it, and it opens the door, and they get in. Now, the whole point of why the great intelligence wanted to get into the TARDIS has come. He approaches the time stream, which it looks like a bunch of threads, okay, wrapped around with little tinier threads come along, and it's all the lives and all the places that the doctor ever went through his entire life, all the people he helped, okay, all the places that he saved, the planets. And the great intelligence jumps into the time stream, even though knowing that if he jumps into this time stream, it will destroy who he is, and it will make echoes, copies of him littered throughout every place. Every success that the doctor had is now being turned into a failure. And you can start to see the time stream starts to flicker out, and certain chords that were coming down are now vanishing. And people are, Jenny, and they're forgetting. That's the thing. The companions that he even had with him, the only reason they were there was because he helped save them. He helped them in some major way. And now they were forgetting that because those things never happened, because the great intelligence went back and he was fucking shit up, right? So what else? What could they do? Okay, Clara and River are there, and the doctor is there, and Clara's like, and the doctor's like in pain. He's on the ground, and he's suffering because his time stream is being completely collapsed. And so Clara does what she has to do. She steps up. She goes to the time stream. She's going to put herself in the time stream with the intention of saving the doctor, saving his wins, his successes. Okay. And so the doctor tries to stop her, obviously. And even River is like, you'd be crazy to do that. If you do that, you're not even going to be you anymore. You're going to be echoes of you helping the doctor. And she was like, that's why I'm here. Like, that's what I came to do. And so she jumps into the time stream, and you see her falling, and she's splintering off, and it's showing all these different moments in the doctor's life where he was like right on the edge of not making it or making a wrong choice, and Clara gently guides him into making that right choice and restoring the timeline of the doctor that the great intelligence was trying to destroy. And you even see her, they go so far back as to show him which TARDIS to steal, because there are multiple TARDISes, but the particular TARDIS that he steals has a little bit of a wonky system, so that way he's able to manipulate it a little bit better in the way he wants to do things. And it was absolutely beautiful the way they choreographed all of it together. Okay. And but now they show her, okay, and she's basically like in a hell pit where she's basically just seeing all the doctors, all their different faces run by her. She's scared, they're screaming because one of the memories, or one of the places that the doctor has been, was his planet when the Daleks were destroying it, and he had to end the time war. And so but after the doctor wakes up, after Clara restores the stream, he wakes up and he can actually see River. And he admits to her, actually, I've been seeing you this whole time. It was just too painful for me to confront. Like it hurt me to leave you behind. And so I didn't want to let you know that I could hear you and I could see you. And they share like a moment together, which was really beautiful. And then he decides, I cannot let this poor girl have sacrificed herself in such a way for me and not try my damnedest to help her and get her out. And so he jumps into his own time stream, which is very risky, okay, very dangerous. He jumps into it. He finds Clara and he pulls her out. He pulls the original Clara out of his time stream. And yay, happy ending. Like she is saved. And in fact, at the very, very end, the whole buildup on this episode actually was that they were going to show you the War Doctor, which was John Hurt, okay? And they show him, but for like 10 seconds. He's at the very end. And she's like, who's that, Doctor? I saw all your faces. I saw all the faces of you. Who is that? And he's like, that's the one that broke the promise. The name is a promise, okay? A name is a very important thing. What you choose as your name means something. And so he said, and I chose the name of the Doctor, and he's the one that broke the promise. So obviously the Doctor's got some emotional trauma that he needs to clear and that he needs to come to terms with. And he does in a later episode. They come to terms with it. And it's actually a really great episode. They have all three, the 11th, the 10th, the 11th, and him. Okay, so David Tennant, Matt Smith, and John Hurt, they all come together in a special episode, The Day of the Doctor. And Clara's in that too. That's a great episode. But we're not going to get into that today. We're finishing up this one, and then we're going to go into the tarot card and stuff like that. Tarot card and the fortune cookie pull. So let me see if there's anything else I'm forgetting about this episode. No, I think I pretty much covered all the bases on that one. So Clara is the impossible girl, and actually is considered the most important companion of all the companions, because without her, the great intelligence would have turned every success that the Doctor had into a failure. And the Doctor is so important, and he has done so much good for the universe that just could not be allowed to stand. So that is my wrap up or the beginning of our Doctor Who series. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that part. Hi there, Hope. Nice to see you. And Tim, nice to see you guys. And Hero. Oh, wow, some new guys in here. Okay. So, yeah, that just love it. Just going to take a moment here. Just love it. Love the Doctor. Love Clara. I'm really excited to get through some of these other stories of the Doctor and Clara. Okay, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed that, because some of the concepts that I'm going to get into with later episodes are just absolutely fascinating. I mentioned to you guys last week, like understanding time paradoxes, okay, understanding time streams and how they'll work timeline choices, okay, because that is something that I ponder a lot, quite honestly. It's like, okay, well, if every timeline has happened, if every single thing has happened all at once, and what if, that's the other thing I was thinking, and what if, considering we are all one being, right? What if that was us, right? What if we threw ourselves into a time stream and we got shattered into all these different versions of ourselves, all right? And we're experiencing all of this stuff all at the same time, because we're just trying to experience and we're just trying to learn. Man, that would really get a lot of experience and a lot of learning done super, super quick for a being to do that, to splinter themselves off into so many different people, so many different things, so many different living entities and beings. And it's absolutely fascinating to me. So I'm really excited to get into some of that more into the future. Hi there, Autumn Rose. That's a beautiful name. Okay. Oh, nice to see you from Oregon. Okay. Hello. We're in Michigan over here, so it's dark out right now. I don't know if it's dark over there, but it's definitely pitch black here right now. All right. So, who is ready for the fortune cookie pull? Who's ready for it? I don't know if you guys have noticed my sweet, sweet shirt. This is my door dashing gear, by the way. I didn't even change. I came straight home and just left everything as is. This is how I went out there. But yeah, I've got my Bigfoot shirt on, my Bigfoot hoodie. I got this from the gift shop down the street from East City Ranch. So it's my favorite. It's pretty much my only hoodie that fits. So excuse me. All right. It's time for fortune cookies, guys. Who's ready? I'm reaching in here. I need someone to say stop in the chat. Someone say stop, and I'll stop on that fortune cookie. Because it seems to go like we get really magical ones when we do that. So, stop. Got it. All right. All right, here we go. All right, what message does the collective need to hear? What message? Can I give it a little shake? This is how I do my magic. Do a little shaky shake. Okay. What message does the collective need to hear? Boop, boop, boop. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm having fun. I'm having fun, guys. Thank you guys for being here, by the way. If you have a moment, if you could, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And if you're feeling extra generous, you could share this on your social media or with a friend. Okay, so here is the message we got for the collective, guys. Show your true face to the people who really matter. Oh, that's really beautiful. Yeah, I definitely live by that rule. Or at least I try to. I try my best. I really do want to be seen for who I really am inside. And I'm sure all the rest of you do too. Ooh, almost forgot my cards. Let's grab those real quick. Okay. All right, I'm excited. Oh, I'm glad you like my hoodie, Deborah. I know, right? It's a good one, Red Orion Art. It's a very good one. Oh, I'm glad. I'm so glad you guys liked that. Okay. So let's see what the tarot cards have to say for us for next week's energies, shall we? Next week, I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. I'm probably not going to be doing a live stream because I have some plans to tend to next weekend. So this is for next week's energies. I might just make a short little video, though, honestly, and just upload it, not do an actual live. I'll just make a video of the tarot card pull for next week because I do like to make sure I put these out here. I'd like you guys to be able to have your energy reading. Hold on. Got a little hair trying to hang out. Yes, truth is important for sure. Oh, man. We got some stuck energy going on here. Okay. All right. We're going to need to make sure that we stay clear going forward this week. Okay. Might get a little bit tricky towards the end of the week there, I'm getting the sense. Okay. All right, there we go. No, we got the even flow back. Even flow. Dun, 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 butterflies. I don't know what's there. All right, so let's go. All right. I do humbly request that you please assist me in doing this tarot card pull for the collective for next week's energies. Please let us know what it is that we need to be made aware of. Okay. Well, there it goes again. Nope. I refuse to believe that. All right, one more shuffle. You know I like to mix it up real good. Yes, for next week's energies. For next week's energies. What do we need to know? Okay. What does the collective need to know? Okay. Boop. Boop. Got it. Oh, the noisy alley cats is back. Hello. All right, for next week's energies. Yep. Oop. First one. Wow, we got a return of the Ace of Cups. This is great news, guys. This is a timeline shift opportunity. This is putting you on track with a new emotional way of being. I feel like this could also be psychic activations, big time, especially considering I've been talking about those today. Usually they show me the cards of things that are already been woven into the stream today. So emotionally, you're having some new beginnings. This is the universe offering you a new love. Okay, maybe a new relationship, something, or maybe a relationship is evolving in a certain way to where it is blossoming, it is growing. Okay, this is also for me, they're saying Kundalini activations going on here because we got these lotus flowers here. So actually, it's a couple different chakra activations. Okay, because we got 3, and it makes me think of the 3 Dantians. Oh, sorry, I got some scratches here. Got some itches going on here. All right, so this makes me think of the 3 Dantians. So I feel like you're definitely going to be moving some things through when it comes to your emotional body. All right, it is a shift, like I said, a timeline shift opportunity. So I really want you guys to focus on your intentions of what it is that you love. Okay, what is it that moves your heart and gets those juices flowing, I guess you could say, gets the tears out, because for me, I mean, I cry at sad things, but I cry at a lot of beautiful things too. Sometimes, a lot of times, just, the stories that I tell you guys, I'm good. I do good telling them here without getting, well, I guess not all the time, but I those stories really they make me tear up, but in a good way, so this is really gonna, the waters are clear. Like the waters, if there's been anything that's been stuck inside you, it's saying like, no, that's going to be pushed through and it's going to rise up and be born again. See, that's why we got that sun there on top of it. Okay, so we have a new opportunity for love and emotions. Let's keep going though. Oh wow, look at that on the bottom. We got another ace on the bottom. So sorry, I was just looking at that. So that was correct. Okay, so what other energies are we bringing into this next week? Please tell us. Please assist. Boop. All right. Wow, we really are activating here. We got the Queen of Cups. Wow. So we got another cup there. This is look at, there's that chakra activating. There's that chakra opening up. All right, that lower dantian right there. That is the thing that really needs to be cleared out and moved through too, because a lot of people, that is where they carry their heaviest energies, is in that root chakra. Okay, if you don't get that root chakra clear, then the energies can't flow up properly. All right, in order to bring you your full activations, your telepathic activations here. Okay, empathic activations here. Like she's got some epiphanies going on here. She's been activated. Like for me, this is absolutely saying that the third eye is even open. Okay, so this is what this Ace of Cups timeline is bringing forward for us, that feminine energy of being a master of your emotions. All right, knowing what's in that cup. Okay, that is what this card is also asking you to do. What is in your heart? What is in that cup? Okay, what thoughts does it bring about to you that just light you up and make you feel electrified? Like they want you to be able to feel that and think about it. I'm not sure about the communicating part of it yet, just because it is 2 cups so far that we got, and we don't have any swords yet. But let's see what happens. Let's see what the next card we get is for this next week's energies. Feeling pretty good so far. Okay. Wow. Okay. So we got a pretty heavy hitting card here because it's a major arcana card. Okay. So we got the Hanged Man. So I feel like they're really asking you to take a look at perspectives that you may be holding that might not actually be the correct perspectives. Like, and I think considering these are such positive cards here beforehand, it's like, where have you gotten things wrong about yourself that are not so positive, that are not so loving? Okay, it's time to stop playing small and to really take a look at your power. Take a look at, like, see, this even says Kundalini activation to me too. See, because this guy, his energy is moving. His energy is moving upward. All right, so where is it that you need to take a look at your life and figure out where you're holding yourself back? All right. It's not something else that's holding you back. It is your own self. You're holding yourself up on that tree for some reason. You're holding on to something, and it's time to go ahead and let it go and see things for what they really are. Again, because we got these other two positive cards, though, I'm saying I'm really feeling and into this card, and it's saying, like, where are you hurting yourself? Where are you holding beliefs about yourself that aren't true? Okay, that is just a false perspective, an inverted perspective. Okay, because that is what this world tries to invert everything, right? It tries to keep us upside down. That's the demonic consciousness. Okay, like it's trying to lay down those like, gosh, I'm tripping up on my words here, but it's like, money being the most important thing, like it's not though, right? Some people still hold those beliefs about yourself, think like, I don't deserve a relationship, or I don't deserve this or that. Where are those things at where you might not even know that they're even in there? Because a lot of times our own belief systems kind of run on autopilot. Okay, so it's time to look at anything that maybe you're still holding on to that you don't need to anymore, and that it's time to let go and see the truth, the positive truth about who you are, your gifts, your empathic abilities, your psychic abilities, your telepathic abilities, your third eye, okay, your sacral chakra opening up, clearing out those waters. Yeah, I think it is time for that, guys. I think we got some really good energies coming forward this next week. Electric. Okay, so look for epiphanies to come once you start to let go of these things. Look to be like, remember how I was talking about at the beginning, how I think that my abilities are coming online more because I'm in alignment with my mission here and the truth of who I am and why I came to this planet even, and what I'm doing in this life. Okay, that's what they're asking you to do. Get into alignment, because it is time for that shift, that loving shift. Open up your heart again. Okay. That is what I have to say about that for this next week. Okay. But obviously, of course, we got one more pull that we're going to do, and that's my Adventure Time tarot cards. I wonder if they have Doctor Who tarot cards. That would be pretty sweet. I can't even imagine all the characters that they would be able to choose for that, though. Like, I don't know. It's just me throwing some things out there. Okay. Oh, I'm glad that you needed that one, Alexis. You have definitely been there for me when it comes to pulling some cards. Giving us the messages we need to hear. Okay. So let's shuffle the Adventure Time Tarot up to see what they have to say for next week's energies. And then, unless anyone has any questions, I'll probably end up heading on out of here and relaxing for the rest of the night. I actually just got done watching another series with my son, my second oldest son, called Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, and it's like a anime based on the comics. Okay, but for me, I loved the movie Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I don't know if there's any fans of that in here with us, but I highly recommend you watch it because it's super freaking sweet. And Ramona Flowers colors her hair all these different colors. And obviously, I'm all about the hair color. All about the hair color. Speaking of, I really need to redo mine. But you know what's kind of exciting though, guys? I don't know about if anyone else gets excited about this. But yeah, great movie, right? Love that movie. All right, so I'm actually getting gray hairs. I'm getting like streaks of grays as my roots are growing out so much. And I fucking love it. I love it. I love seeing those gray hairs. I remember there was this when I took my school for midwifery down in Florida. All right, I had this teacher there, and she was an older woman, and she had the most beautiful silver hair. And I've always told myself that when my hair gets to be, when I'm older and my hair gets to be that silver color, I'll let it be. I'll just let it be that silver. All right, so let's see. Let's see what's going on here. What do we got? Right? Embrace it, girl. Embrace it. Yeah, my natural hair color is blonde. And that's kind of the great thing about even getting the gray streaks in it and stuff like that, is that it kind of just blends in with it. Like, I don't want to get too close to the camera, but like you can see, oh, there's some. You see them? Oh, there's the silver. It's almost time. I need to redo the blue, but I'm honestly thinking I might even do a different color blue. I think I might do something closer to this color blue, but brighter. I don't know. What do you guys think? I usually do it that dark blue, but I was thinking about doing it the bright cyan blue. Okay, so we're almost done with these shuffling. It takes me a while for this deck because it's so thick. Okay, just a couple more little shuffles. Whew, don't fall all over the place. Yeah, I don't want to see that guy. Okay. Yep. Next week's energies. All right, one more pile here, and then we're going to go ahead and pull it. What does the collective need to hear? What do we need to know? What do we need to hear for out next week, guys? What does the Adventure Time Tarot want to tell us? Okay, so this is for the collective for next week's energies. Okay. Reaching into my heart here. I'm ready. So next week's energies. Yeah, tell us. What do we get for next week's energies? Ready? Boop. All right. So it's time to take some actions. We got the 8 of Wands here. All right. So it's time. It's time to take some swift actions. This is not a time for really stopping to think it out. Quite honestly, this is about just take those steps that you need forward, fire those arrows away. Don't worry about which one's going to get through, which one's not, because some of it's going to get through, some of it might not get through. But either way, they are asking you to go ahead and have some faith and go forward with taking some actions that you've been thinking about, because that's what rods are, or wands, I should say, are all about. They're all about action. They're about determination, they're about, ambition, even willpower. That's the big word that's been standing out for me when it comes to the wands is, where are you directing your willpower at? What is it that you're trying to create and manifest? Okay, like this guy right here. Okay, this is the glass boy. He's from the glass kingdom. All right, now he actually felt really self-conscious about this crack in his head. Okay, and so he felt like, people made fun of him for it. And so he was like, forget this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take actions to fix this, even if those actions meant releasing a dragon creature that was in the mountain where the furnace was, for them to heal themselves. The thing is that all the other glass people that had fractures, they had locked this dragon where the furnace to heal themselves was. And so, and until the point where everyone forgot that it was even there, that they could even heal themselves. Okay. And so if it weren't for this guy just taking the actions to try and fix himself in that furnace, none of them would have been healed. So it's time to take actions forward for your healing. Okay. That might look completely different and unique to you. It might be healing in a way that has not been done before, but it's important for you to follow your passion, follow your heart. Where are you going? Okay. And, and music is very important to this guy too. So think about maybe using music for it. You could try some light weaving, obviously, like I do. Okay. Like, it's about your intentions. It's about what it is. If you hold that intention in your heart, all right, and you listen to that music and it inspires you in a way, it can create real magic and real miracles of healing. All right. Find the songs that move your heart, the ones that get you excited to hear, and you think about them when you wake up, or, it play, like you'll hear a clip of a song over and over and over again, right? Like those are that spirit asking you to pay attention. Pay attention to what that song is saying. Pay attention to what it makes you feel even more though. Okay. Because, obviously some songs are really kind of crazy, but what is that song making you feel? What is that song making you think about? All right. Take actions towards that. All right. Let's go to the next one. Okay. So what else do we need to know for next week? Tell us some more, guys. Tell us some more. Okay. Ooh, baby. We got a little bit of a controversial character here. We got the Hierophant. Okay. So this is a major arcana card. All right. This is a card that is really asking you to look at what actions is going to be not just good for you, but good for everyone that is involved. Okay. Like Lemongrab has his own kingdom of people to rule over. Now, see, do I get into what? Because this character is actually a little bit, has a strong shadow, I guess you could say. Okay, so he likes to be in control. He likes to be the one giving the orders. If other people don't like what he likes, he doesn't permit it. He doesn't even permit it. He basically locks the people in jail if they don't follow the rules. Okay, so how do I interpret this? It's like, just give me one little second here. And sound has to do with this card as well, because he's got this sound sword. All right, that can basically, that is his weapon. He uses sound as a weapon. All right, and considering we were just talking about music, I would say again, like, pay attention to what songs are sticking out in your head. Pay attention to how it moves you, the music, how it moves you. And ultimately, this energy that's guiding you is saying, you know what? I really want you to do it my way. And I want you to figure out what my way is. Okay. I want you to go, like, okay, because this is a spiritual leader. Okay. This, like, outside of this being an Adventure Time card. Okay. This is like a spiritual leader that you would look up to, and that you would follow, like a priest or, pastor, or someone that you would look up to spiritually. Okay. And they're asking you to do what is best for the highest good of everyone involved. Okay. He's going to give you clues though. He's going to give you hints about which way to go. I'm just going to look at some of these other little guys here real quick and see if I can sense anything else from them. Like they're giving them offerings and everything like that. I don't know how that would fit in, but don't be sour about things though. Don't be sour about things. Let's pull one more card just to see what else we get with this, because I really liked that Eight of Wands energy coming through. Okay. And again, they're asking you to take some swift actions on which door you're going to go through when it comes to what's going to lead you to your timeline of highest love and joy. I mean, if that's really been the main part of the message that I've been bringing through here, is that being in alignment is what has really started to activate me. They're asking you to do that too, because this guy will just shut you back down in your place if you don't. If you don't go the way he wants you to go, they're gonna close the door. Okay, so you really need to think about what it is that you're trying to create, what your intentions are. Okay, let's pull one more card. Yeah, what's the last part of the message here, guys? Okay, dude. Ooh, baby. Okay, so we got another return of the devil. We've seen this guy before. I always hope that they kind of give me new character cards, but you know what? We've gotten this devil card a couple of times. Okay, and this was a demon that Jake and Margaret, which is Joshua and Margaret, the detectives. This is the demon that they went and they took his blood out in order to make this sword. Okay, and so he was basically very, very bitter about this until that was later returned. Now they're asking you to go into your memories. Okay, they're asking you to see what it is that you've locked away. I mean, especially if we're talking about healing and moving things through, which is like that was like a lot of the message of the last cards that we pulled the other deck, right? Okay, so it's time to really look inside your mind. Look at what it is that you've locked away, that you've told yourself, this is bad. I can't think about this. I can't go to that place. Okay. In fact, it's even, I mean, we got that inverted pentagram at the top. So again, this is like very similar energy to the third card we pulled in the last one. All right. It's like, where have things been distorted? Where have they been inverted? All right. You need to take a look at that, because the devil card truly is things that we do to ourselves, which is the same kind of energy that the hangman was bringing. It's like, what is it that we're holding on to out of pure choice, not anything else, just because we haven't stopped to take the time to sort through it and to really feel it and to really push it through and move it and change it, because those belief systems, those subconscious belief systems, because that's really what that vault is. That vault is Finn's mind vault, where all the traumas that he has, he puts the memories of those traumas into that vault, and in order to not think about it, in order to move on with his life, going on with his adventures. But there comes a time and there comes a place where you need to go and you need to look at those traumas and you need to look and see, where did you get it wrong? Where did you get things wrong about yourself? Because there's no reason to continue on suffering with those things. We are all here for a mission. Obviously, we're all, in human vessels, which are not going to be perfect. We're going to have good days. We're going to have bad days. Okay, we're going to make right choices. We're going to make wrong choices. But who's to say that even those wrong choices weren't the right one for what it is that we're trying to learn here on the planet? All right, because it's about your personal journey. All right. Let me see if there's anything else. So yeah, you might not want to take those actions. You might not want to do it, but ultimately this is a message of healing. They're really saying it is time to step up and take those actions towards healing. Do what's best for the highest good, and take a dive into those thoughts that you've been suppressing or putting away, because those chains that you're wearing are chains that you put on yourself, and it's time for you to take those chains off. It is time. Okay. Love is all there really is. Truly. That is what's real. Love. All right. Focus on that. Focus on where you can find the love in every moment, even the ones that don't feel loving. Okay. Find a way. Okay. True love conquers all, right? That is truth. All right. I really liked those. I liked that energy going forward. Okay. You're welcome, Joanna. Sounds like inner child work, Braden says. Yes. Yes, it does. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's the things that we're bringing forward from our past. Again, the word subconscious belief system keeps coming up for me right now. That's what I keep hearing, okay? Where are the belief systems that we're just running on autopilot? We're running on autopilot a lot of the time when it comes to these things that create negative spiraling. Okay, because let me tell you, I definitely went into a negative spiral last night, yesterday, and my good friend Alexis had to talk me out of it. She was like, "Girl, you tripping? Like, there's nothing wrong. Relax." And I was like, "Oh, fucking right. You're right." All right. I don't know about anyone else, but I feel great. I had a great Thanksgiving. I didn't even talk about that. I had a great Thanksgiving, guys. I made Thanksgiving dinner all by myself and for the first time ever. All right. Because, I mean, in the past, it was like my mom. I'd go to my mom's house or, I'd go to my mom's and my boyfriend's mom's house. And last year, yeah, I made a dinner, but it was with someone else. I didn't actually do it all myself. I mean, like to the point where I bought the turkey already prepared, a turducken last year. I had a turducken. And all I had to do was cook it. Not this year. This year, I did the turkey by myself. Like I had to take the stuff out of it, which was like disgusting. I had to put my hand in there, put stuffing in there. I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing this. I did. And it actually tasted good. That's the thing. I was so shocked. All the food actually tasted really, really good. And my kids really loved it. And I got leftovers, so I'm going to eat some of that after I get out of here. So I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Let me know in the chat though. I'm gonna stick around here for like another minute, and then we're headed on out. And I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna DoorDash tomorrow, and hang out with the Blue Flame Collective because the Blue Flame Collective is going to be having its group meeting tomorrow and Sunday. I'm really excited about that. Come hang out with us if you get a moment. You can find them on Patreon, Blue Flame Collective. My favorite group. You guys know that. So they're doing readings over there. So it'll be fun. It might be kind of crazy depending on how many people show up. Could be a long one. The long ones are the best ones though. So all right, yeah. Oh man, pecan bars. Oh, I had pecan pie. I had some pecan pie, and actually I had 2 slices of the pecan pie. Pecan pie is my favorite. Oh, it's totally bad for you. It's totally terrible, high in sugar. I can't resist it though. I have a sweet tooth. It's bad. Yeah. Good night, Dennis. I hope you have a good one. I hope your lady is doing well. I've been praying for her. Oh, thank you. Enjoy my turkey coma, Miss White Swan said. Oh, absolutely some pie. And I'll tell you what, there better be some pecan pie left. I actually bought 4 pies because I was like, I don't want to be short of pie. I love pie myself. So we bought Dutch apple, pecan, and 2 pumpkin pies because I actually bought little ones instead of the bigger ones. I was kind of like, so I bought an extra one that I had to cook. An actual pumpkin pie I had to cook. Do you know that bitch took 3 hours for a pumpkin pie? 3 hours, 1 hour to cook, 2 hours to cool down so you could cut it properly. Yeah. Who would have thought? Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Yeah, I know, right? Like, fuck, 3 hours? It was wild. Yes, I agree with you on that one. Pie is definitely one of the most important elements. I'm going to agree with that. That gets my approval. It was worth it, Miss White Swan. It was the best tasting pumpkin pie that I have had, quite honestly. Pumpkin cheesecake. That might be kind of good. Oh, Brian, you're late to the game, bro. You're late to the game, buddy. You got here right at the end. I'm getting ready to head out. Next time, make the pie from scratch. Red Orion, you are giving me a challenge, and I just might do it. Although I might end up like Clara, trying to make a souffle, because she could not make a souffle. No, she couldn't. Every single time she made, and that's the funny thing too, is Clara actually went the real version of her, not just the echoes, because that was what the two versions that the doctor ran into ahead of time, those were the echoes from her jumping into the timeline, into the time stream. So she actually ends up in the real version of her, though. She's doing the same thing. She's trying to make a souffle. Oh, it's okay, Brian. It's fine. Next time, buddy. All right. And on that note, it's time to leave. All right, collect all your things, pick up everything. I just totally sold that for me, didn't I? Pick up your trash on the way out. Okay. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you stopped to say hi, Brian. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. Really, I appreciate y'all being here. All right. Good night, everyone. I love you.